This video is brought to you by
Cool Grain Clothing. We done gone worldwide and we coming straight out of Baltimore. Come on down, shop with us at 215 West Saratoga Street. And if you can't come and shop with us in person, go online right now at coolgrainclothing.com and make your purchase. Oh yeah, and by the way, if you ain't cool and getting the green, you're in the way, and that's just basic.
What's going on, YouTube, fam? It's your boy Tony 2 times, and we back with another episode of the Baltimore Way, man. Before I start, be sure to tap that like button. Definitely watch this video to the end to hear the full story and all the details in the case. For my day one fam, y'all already know it's all love. Thanks for tuning back into another episode. If you're new to the channel and you feeling the content, feel free to subscribe. Definitely hit that notification bell so you can be notified every time we drop a new video. Oh yeah, feel free to share the channel with your peoples. Everybody is welcome. With that being said, let's get right into the story. Some people just have a helping nature. Whatever spirit that operates in them doesn't like to see other people suffer, go without, or be down on hard times. I'm sure we have all met somebody in our lifetime and we admire how they treat other people, but also think to ourselves, they just might be a little bit too nice. In this crazy world we live in, it makes it feel a little better though, knowing everybody is not cruddy, trying to get over, or just cold and selfish. While you have some individuals for their own reasons, maybe something they have been through with dealing with other people, or just by nature, they are a little bit more reserved and less trusting when it comes to others. You can't really ask them for nothing. You can't just pop up to their house, and if you fall on hard times, you definitely can't stay with them. On the flip side of that, others will give you their last, open their doors with open arms, and give anybody a place to lay their head. They don't judge. They understand it could be them on the other side of that door needing a helping hand. But I'm sure by now, we all know you can't help everybody. Some people just don't have the same principles and morals you have. Or you extend your hand to them and they do something to show you they really don't care and they are ungrateful. In my opinion, the biggest form of compassion and helping is letting somebody come into your house that's not family or your significant other and lay their head. Even though it might seem like a good deed or you are helping a friend, you just never know what kind of energy or demons people bring with them. Jealousy, hate, envy. While you think you are being a good person, they could be secretly envious of your life and frustrated how theirs is going. They say you never really know a person until you live with them. And unfortunately, almost never does a good deed go unpunished. And on this episode of the Baltimore Way, we'll be discussing a case of a woman who tried to help a friend and he betrayed her in an evil way. Back in 2019, 37-year-old Theatra Bowman had made a decent life for herself in Baltimore. The mother of four and also a grandmother took pride in her family, always being there for her kids, also helping other members of her family if they needed her. Described as loving, caring, giving, Theatra picked the right field of work, with being a home health aide, going to houses to help people who couldn't help themselves. Theatra, just like most of us, had a few hiccups in the past, a few run-ins or two with police when she was younger, but now she had shook back and was providing her kids the best life she could, even having a row house on Chesterfield Avenue in Northeast Baltimore, and she had all her kids living with her, even the ones that were already grown. Her son, his girlfriend, their 2 daughters, her older daughter, and other kids. Very friendly, always smiling, and a people's person. Everybody in the neighborhood knew Theatra, including 41-year-old Marvin Vaughn. The two were friends back in the day, and she knew Marvin from the area. He had been locked up for a minute, but now he had came home, he was trying to shake back. Marvin had a job at McDonald's and was living with his grandmother for almost 8 months, but he eventually left the home and was now down on his luck and needed a place to stay. After a few days of talking to Theatra, being the type of person she was and thinking she knew Marvin and considered him a friend, she told him she could offer him a place to stay in her basement, even though it was already 7 other people in the house. The man seemed grateful, and the two talked about the terms and conditions, like him helping out not disrespecting her house or family. At first, everything seemed cool. Everybody got along, and Theatra was in her element, doing what she did best, helping somebody. But around about the time New Year was approaching in 2020, she started realizing letting Marvin in might not been a good idea. Their way of living just didn't match. On New Year's Day, it was a typical day. Full house, everybody doing their own thing. But later into that night, going into the next morning, Theatra's 18-year-old son was surprised to get a knock on his room door, and it was his mother, telling him she was tired of Marvin and didn't want him in the house anymore, and he wouldn't leave. As she went back to tell Marvin he had overstayed his welcome, now with her son with her, man started to get aggressive, causing her son to step up. Like, yo, what's up with you? My mother said you gotta go, then roll out. Marvin then pulled out a knife, and the men started to fight. He attempted to stab Theatra's son, but she stepped in the middle, and in all the commotion, she was heard making a gasping sound, then falling. Neighbors called BPD and reported fighting and people by a window and one person trying to jump out. Around 2 a.m., now January 2nd, 2020, they responded to the home to find Marvin with cut wounds on his hand, Theatra's son cut multiple times in his head, and her herself suffering from multiple stab wounds. And unfortunately, police was too late, and she was pronounced gone on the scene. Marvin was taken into custody, charged with the first homicide of that year, and attempt as well. Fortunately, Theatra's son survived. As her family got the news, they were devastated. Her sister spoke out, asking how could Marvin do that to somebody who helped him. Her son, who had now lost his mother, also spoke out on almost losing his life that night, and now that his main focus was trying to bury his mother. Everybody in the neighborhood couldn't believe the loving, caring mother was gone just for helping a friend. Marvin's grandmother, who he stayed with when he first came home, also spoke out. She stated her grandson never showed no signs of being violent. He stayed with her for 8 months before he left, and she couldn't believe he would do that to Theatra. As the case started making its way to trial, Marvin and his attorney tried to claim self-defense. He took the stand on his own behalf. He alleged him and Theatra had knew each other for years, and within a week of reconnecting, he moved in. He claimed there was a romantic relationship with ups and downs, and he was laying in the bed with her, watching stuff on the phone when she just told him he had to leave, and then went and got her son. Saying he felt threatened, he claimed that's when he pulled out a knife to try to defend himself, and Theatra stepped in between the men. But the evidence didn't match, and testimony from other family members who knew the situation, they claimed Marvin was in fact just a friend, not her boyfriend, and he snapped when she didn't want him to stay with her no more. In the end, the self-defense claim wouldn't stand, and Marvin would be found guilty on all charges and sentenced to life plus 5 years in prison for the situation. Rest in peace to Theatra. I send my prayers and condolences to her family. Definitely her son, who almost lost his life and had to witness his mother lose her life that night. Hopefully Shorty is healing, staying out the way, and maintaining. Theatra reminds me of another person I knew that just didn't mind helping people until they realized people like to use others, and when they can't no more and you peep game, they get mad. I'm sure she thought she could trust Marvin. They probably did have a history of being close friends, but people change and situations vary. Talking on the block is different from a person laying in your house, and unfortunately, her kind heart cost her life. I'm gonna leave this one open. Y'all let me know y'all thoughts on the situation. And have you yourself ever been in a similar situation where you tried to help someone or open your home to them and they either crossed you or things got worse? Let me know in the comments. Yeah, man, crazy story. Rest in peace, Theatra. I send my prayers to her family. But I ain't gonna talk too much more about this one. I appreciate you if you made it to the end. This is another episode of the Baltimore Way. It's your boy Tony 2 times. Love, fam. I'm out.